Every June, the trail running world converges on California for Western States, one of the most historic races in ultra running. And for the second year in a row, I got to experience it from the inside. Producing highlight reels for the live broadcast and social media gave us access to moments that most spectators never get to witness. Our team had a front row seat, as cooler temperatures and a blistering early pace led to record-breaking performances. And you'll get to experience it right alongside of us in this episode of Time on Feet. Well, it's the day before Western States. We're about 7 or 8 weeks out from Cocodona, which was the last time that I ran. I, of course, had to drop from that race at mile 190 due to injury. I likely had that injury heading into the race and only made it worse. Of course, I didn't know at the time, but it turned out to be an iliac stress fracture. So a stress fracture in my pelvis, confirmed with an MRI and some x-rays. So haven't run since then. I've been on the elliptical and on the bike, trying to maintain some fitness. I hope to be able to start running again in a week or two with the okay from my doctor, but for now I'm limited to just a few miles at a time of hiking. But we are going to make the most of our time down here at Western States. I won't be able to join any of the shakeout runs and other activities, but I am still helping out on the media team tomorrow with Audrey's help, who's going to also carry a camera for me. But for now, I'm going to go see the Hoka High Camp Challenge that's heading off here at 10 a.m.
On your marks, get set, go! Good luck, have fun, make friends, enjoy the mountain, make your way up out of your field, let's go to the Red Rock hike.
The High Camp Challenge is a free event which follows the opening 3 miles of the Western States 100 course. Sad to be missing out on this year.
I'm gonna go up and down the Granite Chief Trail.
Okay.
Not feeling so hot this week. Unfortunately, I have a cold, so I've been avoiding, like big grip runs and things like that. But still want to take a little bit of time for myself this morning, get out on the trails, see how far I make it, and come back down if I don't feel great. But yeah, now's my last chance because after this, we're gonna get a little busy with events and stuff. So.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah, see you in a little bit.
I ran into my buddy Wing from back home, who was here for his first time after a long journey to get to the start line. How you feeling?
Jittery. I was crying over at the Arch because I was with my parents and Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix came on and I just couldn't believe the situation that I was in. And now I'm standing here holding a bib and this backpack and I'm still just shaking.
Well, you earned it.
Yeah. 9 years in the making.
Yeah.
Woo. So yeah, it's a wild feeling. Yeah.
How about this weather? Are we happy about the cooler?
I mean, could a boy from North Vancouver ask for anything more than it's raining, it's windy, it's chilly? For me, that works. If you asked me 5 years ago, what would I like on this day? This. Yeah.
What was this here?
This is this little laser carved artifact with my name on it. I mean, the amount of stuff they give you in this backpack is totally out of control. And I'm picking up free Shocks headphones engraved with my name on them, apparently.
First qualified 10 years ago. Have been just patiently waiting my turn in the lottery and finally came up this year. So excited to give this a go and have some fun out there.
How was the weather up there, guys?
It was cold. It's chilly, wet, rain was coming down sideways. If it's like that tomorrow, runners will be in for a treat.
Well, the tram wasn't running, hey?
Tram's not running, it's too windy.
Yeah. What's going on?
So the weather's a little iffy, and as you can tell, I'm really not prepared for harsh mountain weather, so I decided to turn around.
Okay.
As I started going up the mountain, and it was just getting worse and worse, so I'll save it maybe for later if I have time.
This is my first time running the race as a professional athlete, and first time running the race, period.
But not your first time here.
Correct. I've been at this race, I think 5 times now as a media person, as a photographer, as a videographer. Got to work with Jeff last year for the race, and so this just feels really special to be here in this capacity.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked to get out there and try to run fast, I guess.
What's your goal? Call your shot, man. What are you trying to do?
My goal this year is to get back in for next year. So
Okay.
top 10 is the goal. I think this year it's probably going to take somewhere in that 15-hour range.
Yeah.
And I actually got my golden ticket at Tarawera, and we had about 2 inches of rain on race day. So if it keeps on raining like this, then the gods are looking out for me. But honestly, I was hoping for extreme heat, just because you generally see a little bit more attrition when it's really hot. But I'm excited to see how fast people can run in these like epic, perfect conditions. So from the spectator and the media side, I'm super excited about this. From the athlete side, I think it's just going to force us all to race a little bit harder and take some more risks.
Yeah. So what's happening with you and YouTube and media and stuff?
Yeah, of course. So as I said, I have shot this race 5 or 6 times. It's my first time. I signed a professional contract after Tarawera with Ultra and Goo Energy Labs. And so I'm a professional athlete now, I guess. And just recently started a YouTube channel. It's just Jacob Banter Runs. There's only a few episodes up right now, but I'm just trying to kind of document my journey as I go from working in the industry to now kind of being a professional athlete.
Yeah, check out that YouTube channel. I'll link to it below in the description.
Well, what brought me here today was the fact that Jeff Bronco Billy Browning wanted me to help him on the B side of the race.
Oh, yeah.
So the Duncan Canyon Dusty Corners.
Okay.
So
So crewing, not pacing.
crewing, yeah. He actually asked, he's like, hey, do you want a pace? And I said, no. I said, you're not taking a pacer. Because that used to be our thing.
Really?
Is we never used to do pacers, and then we slowly started getting into doing it, mainly because of the 250s. But
Yeah. So he's pacerless.
he's pacerless this year, yeah.
Okay.
Unless at the last minute he wants me to jump in at one of the aid stations. I brought stuff to do it, but I think the race is going to take off a lot faster than it probably should because of the cool temperatures, and the race is always known for people blowing up, but I think it's probably because of the fact that they're going to not be blowing up because of the heat. I think it's just going to be, it's probably going to be a record-breaking year.
Yeah.
I'm just walking over to the runners briefing, and I noticed on my phone that my buddy Roman Track just got in off the wait list. He was the first person there on the wait list. Somebody must have dropped. So really excited for him. I hope to see him over at the runners briefing here now.
Jeff,
guy.
hi, man.
You got in.
Just got off the wait list about an hour and a half ago.
Man of the hour.
Yeah, dude. Got my cool little backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited for
I'm
you.
so excited. I feel like I was on the organ transplant wait list for last week,
Yeah.
and I needed a new kidney by today, and I got it.
Have you been training? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome.
I've never
You
felt
look ready.
I've never felt faster. I feel so ready. I feel fast. I feel my mindset is so just awesome right now. I feel like I've been given a second chance at life.
So you recovered from Cocodona then,
Yeah.
and you got back
I did.
on the horse.
I did a Memorial Day training run, and I didn't think I was going to get in. Was going to pace Western States,
Okay.
and things started moving this weekend. Sure enough, I drove up, went to bed last night, number 1 on the wait list. Walk up to the registration table, and I get an email from Craig Thornley.
Dude. So.
Dude, can you believe that?
That's so
hey,
cool, man.
At least stand right here so you can hear it.
The briefing had moved inside because of the weather, but there wasn't enough room for us all to get in.
I'm from Auburn, California. I went to Placer High School where the race finishes. And I have, over the years, kind of decided to make a move into photography. And so in 2015, I shot my first Western States. So this will be my 11th year shooting Western States. And it's grown to a cool point where I am also a runner, and I would desire to get into this race as my home 100 miler.
Yeah.
And so I've even built out a team, and we're all involved in shooting photography. We're a no ego team, just trying to make sure that this race is promoted well, that the women's field is taken care of, that they're not forgotten about because the men's race is going faster. And it's been really cool to watch this race progress over the years, especially as a creative. I've seen the live stream come to be. I've seen influencers arise in social media, and it's really cool to know that this race means so much to so many people all around the world.
Following Jen Lichter, trying to keep up, and then, I don't know, just trying to make a little movie, something like that. I'm really tired. Let's just get to the running. We've been talking about running. Let's just get to it now. Also looking for her, and she's very short.
Yeah, what do you guys think about losing one of our own here, huh? To the other side.
It's heartbreaking.
Sad to see him go.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. You're not. I was taking all your work anyways. I was undercutting you guys.
Now he makes me work for him.
That's right.
It wasn't just he had to leave. Now he had to force me to work for him.
It's been a lifelong goal of mine to make Tony my employee, and finally achieved that goal. So here he is.
I feel inadequate. I've got the smallest camera here. But it's not the size of your camera. It's what you do with it.
Oh, what's up?
No press, no press. I didn't sign. No, dude. So this weekend, I am filming a bunch of CTS athletes. So I'll be following Jennifer Lichter, Molly Seidel. That's actually how you say her last name, for the record. I was corrected online. Jeff McGavero, Adam Peterman, and Will Murray, along with their coaches, just throughout the race and showing the coach-athlete interaction and having a good time.
So Adam, I'm injured.
Yeah.
And I'm here at this event. I can't partake in any of the shakeout runs. I'm watching all these runners. Any words of advice for me? Any consolation?
Well, I mean, I think patience, with all these things, it's always comes down to patience. Your body, you got injured for a reason.
Yeah.
And so I think just respecting that process and soaking it up for a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
And I think, it's FOMO is a very real thing at these events. God, I have it. I was like watching all the people up on this podium and, I wish I'd been there and all that stuff and wish I was towing the line, but I think it's still cool to just be part of the energy and soak that up and, remember that in your recovery process and treat your recovery as training.
Yeah.
And the same kind of discipline that you apply to the miles and stuff, apply it to your recovery and the same level of patience. And you'll get back there and you'll do it with a whole new level of appreciation.
What are you doing here, by the way?
Oh, I get to pace Fu Zhao, which I'm Fu Zhao Zhang. She was second the last 2 years, and it's a huge honor. It's really cool to watch the evolution of the sport through an athlete like her. The sport has become, she has like a crew of like 15 people. They're so dialed. Everything is like laid out. When I did it, it was sort of, you'd call a couple buddies up and that spirit still exists. Yeah. But at the very pointy end, it's become much more professional and also just the cultural difference. Like literally it was like going through her food list and there's like noodles and stuff like that. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I got to do some running with her and trying to figure out what words to use because she doesn't speak English fluently and I speak no Mandarin. So how are we going to communicate? And then what does she like out of a pacer? And because I don't want her to be mentally taxed by it all, right? And so it's sort of what are the least amount of words we can use to communicate and to keep her going forward and to have the experience that she wants to have. So it's going to be a really fun challenge to do that. And I was massively honored to be asked to join her out there. So it'll be really fun.
Okay, we just had the media briefing and now we're going to line up to get our credentials here. And we were just told that there are more media than there are runners.
Didn't have to stand in line?
We didn't have
Extra special.
because we know someone.
Oh, yeah.
And the super
Extra special vest.
Look at that service. I didn't even have to stand in line.
Fish on me.
A lot of media. We're over 200 this year. I think last year there was like 180.
Yeah.
But this feels just like another level and trying to picture everybody. And they said there's more like media on course than there is runners, which I'm like, oh, that puts it in perspective. Just how many people are trying to get around the course and get parking. And I'm glad we have access.
Okay, well, bright and early morning of Western States. We were up at 2:45 to get here to the meeting spot for 3:30 because we get to drive up the hill up to Emigrant Pass while most people have to hike up because the lift, unfortunately, is not operating today because of high winds. So we were originally going to go up on the gondola. We were going to have first access being official media, but instead we get to drive up like we did last year. Then we're going to hike up from for the last couple of miles there. We made it to Emigrant Pass with a bit of time to spare, but unfortunately it was close to freezing with the wind chill, which no doubt, combined with the unexpected shutting down of the chairlift, had led to fewer spectators than last year. But this was going to make my job a little bit easier.
I think it's the white hoodie in the lead.
Yeah, okay.
Hans Troyer was leading the charge, having reached the pass in just under 40 minutes. followed closely by Kilian Jornet, Francesco Pupi, and Jim Walmsley.
So who do you guys think is going to be first for the women?
We're hoping for Jen.
The women's field was setting a similarly aggressive early pace, led by Jen Lichter, with a pack of runners right on her heels.
Okay, down we go. On to the next one.
With no time to spare, the plan was for Audrey to drive between aid stations so that I could immediately start editing to get vignettes out for social media and the live stream as quickly as possible. And our next stop was a remote aid station that even other media aren't allowed to visit. Well, we've arrived at Devil's Thumb. We decided to skip Robinson Flat this year because, especially with the leaders being way ahead of course record splits. Last year, we barely made it for M1. I don't think we would have made it this year. But that works out because I've never been here before. This aid station is non-crew accessible. In fact, media isn't even allowed to come here. It's 10 o'clock now. I believe last year the leaders came through at about 11:40, so we're expecting them closer to 11:30, maybe even 11:25 today. So still got a good hour to kill here.
What time is it right now? 10:20. Probably an hour.
An hour.
We see the leaders.
Yeah.
I think they could be like 20 minutes ahead of the course record up here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they run right through here and then they cross over here and they head downhill immediately. So if you're trying to keep up with them, good luck. Better to catch them on the uphill, I think.
Yeah, I won't be trying to keep up with them today, that's for sure.
On behalf of the board of directors and Craig Thornley, Myself, I want to really thank all of you for being out here to volunteer, because it's volunteers like you that help the runners get through and see their dream. And those of us who have a buckle know how important it is to, have volunteers out here as part of the whole family to get them to Auburn and so they can get a buckle.
So here they're coming from Last Chance aid station. It looks like they're on a little plateau on the other side. Then they have a massive drop to the canyon and across the river. And then they have 36 switchbacks, this massive climb back up here to the Devil's Thumb aid station. So looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah. On a hot day, that would be...
That would be brutal on a hot day, yeah. There's a nice breeze right now. We're not hot, but of course we're not running, so...
Well, should we check out the thumb, Devil's Thumb?
Let's go see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thumb. The Devil's Thumb. It's actually a... It's a thumb. It's a thing.
Yeah, so it's 11 o'clock, and apparently the men's leader is already on the climb. So he's still got 36 switchbacks, but he's on his way up. You gonna do follow cam?
Do follow cam.
To the aid station, yeah, nice.
I got my weapon ready.
You've been down to the hay.
He's like a little moving, bouncing thing.
My eyes are not good enough.
Yeah, you can just barely see somebody over there.
Wow, I don't see anything. Like, I see the trail, but I don't see...
Yeah.
Oh, I see him, I see him. Wait, is that honk?
Yeah.
That's what he wrote. Every second counts on his shoes.
Oh, he's right here. He's right here.
Hans! Woo! Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my God!
Woo!
Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! So good! Good job, young man. Good job. You look awesome. Yes, Fran.
2 runners up.
Fran, let's go. Great. Looking great. Let's go, Fran.
You look so good. You look so good.
Get it,
You look
Fran.
so good.
Good job. Get it, Fran.
We are so back.
Yes,
Yes,
back.
yes, yes.
Let's go, Jim. Let's go, Jim.
Come on, Francesca!
I'm in a lot of pain. Okay. Do you need some? Can we tell someone? No? Okay. Okay, Jim.
Right on, Jim.
All right. Take
Let's
care
go.
of
Nice
yourself.
and controlled.
So I don't know if you heard that, but Jim said he's in a lot of pain. And he wasn't joking.
Great job. A great redemption. A great redemption, my friend. Just keep it going. You're right in there. You're right in there.
Do you want any cooling?
You sure?
Focus on the little
Okay,
things.
good.
Good job.
Well done. You got this. You're looking good, Mozart. Well, it's an incredible day. I mean, it's Western States, normally hot. It's probably, it may go down as the 3rd coolest year on record. And both the men's and women's fields are running course record pace right now. So it's super exciting. It's amazing to see these athletes continuing to find the edges of their own potential and the potential of this race course.
Runner up.
That's what we're talking about, Ryan. Superb. I love it. Great job, man. Really, really strong running. Keep taking care of yourself. You're doing great, Ryan. Ryan Montgomery, solid. A solid top 10er, and he's going for it today. So taking a little more commitment early on, and it's paying off for him big time. Yeah. Focus on the little things, Ryan. Thank you.
More good time, dear. Don't worry about the TV.
Thank you. There you go, Ryan. Let's go, Ryan. Good decision. Oh yeah, he does.
Couple runners there. Oh, there's 3.
Devil's Thumb is one of the most unique places on the course. It's It's so important for the runners.
Yeah.
They have no crews, no spectators, no pacers here. And they've just done a 13-mile descent down to Swinging Bridge, and then they've got a 1,500-foot climb.
Oh, here we go.
Straight up. Here we go. Yeah, Zach. Oh, man, you're running so well, Zach. You're running great, man.
It finally got fun.
Yeah, you're right on, buddy.
How far to Ryan?
Okay, you're like 3 minutes. 3 minutes to Ryan.
Ice is to your left. I need water on me.
No. Okay.
Is that bottle full yet?
You got it, buddy.
Okay.
Crushing it.
Let's go, woohoo! Let's go, Zach!
Right on, Anthony. Running strong, man. Really good. Right on. Right in there. Right in the mix. Maybe 2.5 minutes to Zach. 3 minutes more to Ryan. Right on. Right on, Adam.
Hey.
Right on. You're running great, man. You're just like 3 minutes back from Zach, and
Sick.
You got nice job. Right, stop.
Water, please.
Oh man, this is Christmas morning for a fan. This is amazing. And everyone looks composed and controlled for the most part. I mean, the weather's playing into their favor, but they still got a long ways to go. They're not even halfway. Kaput Springs is half, and so they got a lot of taking care of themselves out there. And if they aren't careful, there's going to be carnage. But right now, people are looking good.
Ale Thomas, let's go!
Let's go, Danny boy! Thanks for choosing the thumb. Let's go, Danny boy. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. You're looking good. Stay confident, Danny.
What can I get you for a drink?
Water, please.
I'll take your bottle. More ice? Yeah!
There you go, Dan.
All right, Dan!
Water left.
Pre-planning.
Thanks, guys.
How's it going? All good?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I've been running maybe every other runner.
Yeah.
Not everyone, because some of them just speed out of here.
Yeah, good.
Or sometimes Justice, and I don't want to get in his way.
Yeah. Runner up.
Thank you.
Nice up, Justin! Nice work, Jeff!
Just water.
Both are using this one. All right, looking good. You want ice?
Yeah.
Great job, Jess.
Oh,
that's Josh.
Okay. Water on your back? Yeah, everywhere.
Hey, Josh!
Got it.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
You good?
Ice in there. Ice here. Maybe. Ice pack.
Yep, ice pack here. Yeah.
Let's go, Canyon!
20.
Nice work, Canyon.
Number 20!
Thank you. Canyon.
Water right here. Come on over. Ice right here. Awesome. Good job, man.
Everywhere or nowhere?
Everywhere is great.
Everywhere. You got it.
That's good. I'll give you another key.
Yep, sure.
That's so much fun.
No, water electric.
There you go. Hey, you better get ready. Get ready. You got it.
Grab water. He looks puppy. He looks strong. All right, water in both.
Water in both? Okay.
Get water down.
Everywhere? Yeah. My face.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ice or no? I'm okay. Thank you. You're awesome, man. Doing a great job.
Right on. You're still right in there. People are going to fade ahead of you. Keep it together.
Good. Yeah, Baba. Looking good, man. Hey. Over here on the left. Want to run everything? Sure. Great. I get that.
Oh, no. Good job.
Thank you. Your octane, your water. Good work. Keep it up. Nice job. Looking strong.
In the heart walker.
Ah, Max. You doesn't look like it. You're only 10 minutes off. Course record pace.
Right on. Great job. Great.
Runner up.
Nice job, good work.
Yeah, Hoopator.
Well done, well done.
Thank you.
Good work.
Nice job, buddy. Doing great.
Thank you.
Nice job. Vamos, vamos. Vamos.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Good job, Hoopator. You. Good job.
Well, apparently Killian DNF'd. He came into it with a knee injury, and I guess I think he was racing just to try to keep his. If he finished top 10, he'd get an automatic entry into next year. So his goal was just a top 10, but obviously it got the best of him. So, hey, even the best in the sport DNF sometimes, I guess.
Right on, Jacob. Running great.
Yeah, Jacob.
Running really strong.
Awesome job.
Nice work, Jacob.
Thanks, Steve.
Looking good, man.
Yeah, that's our boy. It's looking good.
Champion.
Well, he's the media people's champion.
That's
right.
Fast media guy.
Fast media guy.
Fast media guy, that's right. Former media guy.
Yeah.
Now he's just a fast guy.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go, Hiroki.
Yeah, so there's quite a few women we think are on the final climb up here, and they all clustered together. So I think it'll be a little hectic here trying to get some footage, and I hope the volunteers are ready because they're coming in hot. Probably at least 5 or 6 of them that we've seen so far. So yeah.
Jen!
Oh, cowbell.
Yeah, Jen! Welcome to the top!
Let's go, Jen! Everything. This an ice bucket? Yeah, ice bucket. I got you. Oh yeah. That's good. Oh yeah. Work. Your bandana. Cold. Thank you. Can you stuff it in his pocket? The bandana? Yep. Thank you. And then we're gonna zip it up. Thank you so much.
Nice work.
Bit of a gap.
Yeah, Jen, I mean, the reports were that Riley was leading, and so Jen must have made a move down by swinging and pushed up, but not surprising. She's dialed. She spent some time out here and looks so controlled. Got in and out of that aid station fast. You know, it's not looking like a debutante for Jen, putting on a master class here at State, so it's going to be exciting to see how the next 52 miles go.
Always good for a soundbite.
Really turns
You
it on.
just asked the right question.
Dude, let's go, Riley! Looking good, Riley! Looking good!
Just Coke? All right. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, here's your Coke. I got it. Thank you.
Good job, Riley. Yeah.
Let's go.
A smile.
One bottle.
Hey.
Water on top.
On my face.
There you go.
More.
More.
Right on my face. Good job.
You got it.
There we go. Good job, buddy.
Woo!
Ale, ale.
Let's go. Ice on the left. You want ice water on your head? Ice water?
Yeah. Sponge everywhere.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're crushing it. Go. Water. You want a sponge? Sponge water on you?
Anywhere, yep.
There you go.
Woo!
This is the water on top right here.
More?
That might be Abby. Pretty good. Abby, you got the pink?
I know. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Good job. Sarah? Looking good.
Eye drops.
Eye drops. You got water? Water on top? Do you have a drop bag? Do you have a drop bag?
No.
No eye drops?
That's good. Can we just do ice back here?
Okay.
Here, I can get you. Look at her.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's start walking.
Take care of yourself. Good job.
Great job. Good job. Let's go.
All right, way to go, Anna. Good job. Yoo-hoo! Go, Molly! Go, Molly!
I'll take your bottles. What do you need?
Just water.
Okay.
Or I guess, what do you guys have?
Water and goo Rockney.
Okay.
Caffeine or non-caffeine?
I take some caffeine. Caffeine.
You have ice? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take some ice in my top pocket.
On the left, ice. Good job. Water.
No, I'm actually okay.
Blistered at all, or
Do you want anything over your head?
No,
no, thank you. Do you guys have any soda?
Yeah. Over here, you want Coke? Coke, Mountain Dew, Mountain Drill. Coke and Drill.
Summer, I'll take a sip of Coke.
Nice job, Bowie! Nice here.
More? Can you put cookies in this?
There we go.
Look at your breaking bell.
Go water on top. Go, girl. There we go. Good job. Good work. Looking great.
Yoo-hoo! Nice work.
Thank you so much.
Food. Anything?
Time to go?
Yeah, time to go.
Okay. All right. On to the next one. Thanks, guys.
Don't forget your cameras.
We're rolling?
Yeah.
Okay, I just hit 2K.
Nice.
Hey. Interesting top 10 for the women. Hey?
Yeah.
It's not who we would expect.
Bit of a mix-up in the
Yeah,
last.
we're missing some fan faves and got some unexpected women up there. But honestly, there's like 20 women that could be in the top 10. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I gotta say,
Let's
Let's see. The rest of our women should be very close here. It doesn't look like
We had missed the lead men through Forest Hill, but we decided to stay for the top 10 women. Jen Lichter had managed to hold on to her lead, running well ahead of course record pace. But the top 5 women were separated by a mere 17 minutes, setting up a fierce battle for the podium.
Looks like a lot of people are hurting. I think the race went out really fast. We're most definitely going to see some course records fall.
Yeah.
And there might even be some more carnage towards the end. I mean, we've seen Jim and Killian, like the 2 favorites, dropping early. So, yeah, just a wild race. It's going to go down in history.
Give me an update. How's he doing?
Jeff is, I'm not sure, but I think Cocodona might be on his legs.
Yeah.
He was about a half hour behind what he wanted it to be.
Yeah.
He's got to get here in the next hour to do the 50+ course record.
Okay.
So he's got an hour to get here. So
All right.
I'm not too worried, but I'm looking for parking for the big van that's crewing him. So
right.
you can find a spot.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks.
With the lead women through, we had just enough time to rush to the finish line as I edited en route.
beautiful evening here just outside of Auburn, California.
Made it to the finish line. We're just waiting for the men's leaders who should be here
You can feel the sense of urgency.
pretty soon, actually. So I'm gonna go get situated behind the arch here. See if I can get a good spot.
This is the moment, hey? This is it. We thought we had a big day, but this is where it gets real spicy.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
I got 2 cameras, so I'll get one shot somehow, you know.
Vincent Bouillard established a new course record, beating Jim Walmsley's 2019 record by over 23 minutes, after a DNF in 2025.
I'm like speechless right now. And I said it in the race prediction. I said 1, 2, 3 Hoka, but we got 1, 2. Come on now, let's go.
Francesco Pupi also ran under the previous course record in what was his debut 100-miler.
Life on the run, I'm glad beside Bonnie. Overseas, getting to this green at a mommy. Nah, I mean, remember when they didn't see me? Now I stand out like a Lambo. I'm going Rambo, stealing scenes in my movie like Brando. One saying I'm the hot can hold the candle.
Third place Ryan Montgomery ran a 2-hour personal best.
Too big for the pound of Shamu. In a side-by-side, hitting sand dunes like it isn't brand new. Trying to show them that they can too. It's earned, not given. Wanna drive the car of your dreams and be driven. When everybody talking that itch, just don't listen. It comes down to a decision. Turning base metals to gold. They say real alchemy inside of your soul. So take the lead out, take a breath in, let the breath out, and now you're ready to go. From the top of the ropes, I'm about to jump in the crowd. I'm a heavyweight champ, put on a couple of pounds. Okay, tonight we celebrate, we have a couple of rounds. Then it's right back to work, we can't be messing around now.
While Adam Peterman ran almost 50 minutes faster than his winning time in 2022.
We want the victory. We don't settle for nothing, we making history. How we got to the top is not a mystery. When they were throwing shade, we were not listening. Focused on a vision, we want the victory. We don't settle for nothing, we making history. How we got to the top is not a mystery. When they were throwing shade, we were not listening. Sticking to the mission. Then we take a victory lap. Then we take a victory lap. Now run it back, yeah. Then we take a victory lap. take a victory lap, run it back, yeah. I put the whole team on my back. I put the whole team on my back, run it back, yeah. I put the whole team on the map. I put the whole team on the map, run it back, yeah.
Hiroki Kai from Japan rounded out the top 10 for the second year in a row with a 50-minute PB of his own.
Jen Lichter just went through the very last checkpoint, about 36 seconds ahead of Courtney Dauwalter's record pace from 2023. So we're waiting for her at the track. It's a true nail biter. We don't know if she's going to just squeak in under the course record. That would be pretty exciting. She should be here any minute within the next 8 or 9 minutes.
Jennifer Lichter established a new course record for her 100-mile debut, coming in a minute under Courtney Dauwalter's previous record set in 2023. While Riley Brady ran a massive PB of over 5 hours, the third fastest women's time in Western States history. Marianne Hogan also ran a 1-hour PB, finishing third for the third time since 2022. In 7th place, Fujiao Zhang of China ran 20 minutes faster than her second place finish last year, just shy of her PB of 16:20 from 2024, when she also finished second. A good indication of just how much faster the field was this year overall.
Nice job, man. Nice job.
Dude, that was Jacob Banta. For us, it was first place, but maybe 17th. And he outran us. That's good.
You know he's a photographer.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody of these media could ever outmatch him.
30-mile runs at 4 in the morning.
No, they're walking.
Well, it's Sunday morning, it's 9 a.m. We got a few hours of sleep last night at the hotel, so feeling much better. There's still 2 hours left in the race, and there's close to 100 runners still to finish that are out there somewhere on course. Golden hour, though, starts at 10 a.m. It's the final hour of the race, and that's what we're here for. I'm also waiting for my buddy Wing Taylor from Vancouver to come in. He should be here within, I don't know, I hope the next half hour or so we'll catch him from behind the finish.
How did it go for you guys here this time?
You know, it was a lot of fun. Usually we're battling the heat, and so that was a nice surprise this year. But instead of that, we were battling the speed of the top runners. So that made us scramble a little bit. We're constantly trying to reshuffle a bit, and you know, some of our planned logistics of hopscotching forward had to kind of have a compressed timeline. So it's always interesting coordinating everything. And man, what a historic day to be part of that. To help capture it and bring it to everyone around the world is just an amazing feeling.
it'd have to be one of the most remarkable hours of sport, wouldn't it? This is unreal. Celebrating the last places, who are the best stories, and they have suffered. They've suffered hard, and we all love their suffering. It's awesome.
We're at Golden Hour, the best time of day on the best day of the year, besides Cocodona. So I paced Addie Bracey, she's my homegirl, and then got asked like a week ago if I wanted to pace Stephanie Irving, who is the Silver Legend ticket winner, and so I just paced them both. Yeah.
Okay, enjoy the last 20 minutes.
Thanks, man.
Soon enough, my buddy Wing would make it on the track, on his way to his first Western States finish.
Make it so that I show up in the Golden Hour. Oh, unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
Just behind Kurokawa is the opening Indiana.
The last official finisher crossed with just moments to spare, as we watched the clock tick over 30 hours.
It's a little depressing not to be able to run this, but everybody gets their slice of time, and I've had one heck of a slice. I've got 22 finishes. I always wanted more. We get old.
That's right.
We won't go through all the superlatives here, but I want to start with first the high temperature in Auburn yesterday, 73 degrees. The third coolest in Western States history. We had 322 official finishers out of 370 starters, an 87% finisher rate, the highest in Western States history.
We thought that the weather was going to create abnormal and extraordinary conditions for performances, and they did. Like, we got a course record out of Vincent, we got a course record and a win out of Jen Lichter. Incredible. But also there was just a lot of the typical drama and attrition from big names that you get in the hotter furnace-like years. So we're actually doing our recap episode later today, and I am at a loss for trends and how to interpret this whole thing. Like, I think instead of like the fast news cycle, I need to like sit back and process this for the next 4 or 5 days at least, because there are a lot of assumptions that I was making heading into this year's event that like got blown out of the water.
Yep. I don't have any like fat ones.
Jeff Browning succeeded in establishing a new 50 to 59 Grandmasters course record in 1803, finishing 38th overall. While Roman absolutely smashed his Western States debut, finishing in 20 hours and 18 minutes.
Was it everything you thought it would be?
And more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really the greatest race because of how well supported you feel on the course. Maybe one day, Jeff and Audrey, I'd love to be out here. I'm not too far away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.